No, ex-military. Works for an NGO now. He's working on the line? Exactly. He's on the ground, actually. I should really, get back to it.
Of course. Go ahead. Oh, and Pete. Send me notes, Liz. Thanks.
Hello, Nathan? Sorry to keep waiting, my editor. Where were we?
Hey, you were asking about the guy, the one that went back there, the guy that,
Ah, that's right. Did you know him well?
No, not really. He worked maintenance on our trucks.
He was employed by IDAP.
No, nothing like that. I mean, he just told us out a few times. Off the book stuff. Guy was a local mechanic. Family business type thing, you know?
I see.
I remember he had a place on the edge of town, not far from our setup. We chat from time to time. He's a nice guy, friendly.
And do you know where he was going that day?
To the church.
He was going to church.
No, don't get me wrong. I mean, that place had been abandoned for almost a year. But he was looking for his brother.
At the church?
Yeah, there'd been reports of, pretty brutal firefight up there. He heard his brother might have been caught up in it.
Sure, but... And I'm not quite clear on this. Was his brother still alive?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't think he knew either. Seems like he was on his way to find out.
So, his brother... He was in the army?
Yes and no. It's complicated. You gotta remember it was pretty chaotic back then.
Of course. Okay, let's back up a bit.
Sure.
What complicated the situation?
Just the history of it all. His brother had been a recruit in the U.S. Armed Forces, boot camp, basic training, you know. Well, this is back when NATO was still keeping the peace. But after U.S. forces pulled out, apparently he deserted.
Do you know why?
No, I know they argued a lot about it.
Was he upset that his brother had deserted?
Oh, no, he was no fan of the government. I mean, by that time, very few people were.
What, then?
I think he was just, I don't know, sick of all the violence. Didn't want to see his brother get caught up in all that.
In what?
More bloodshed.
Hello, Kate speaking.
Hey, sorry about that. Call must have dropped. The network out here garbage.
No problem. It's understandable. Are you still driving?
Yeah, we're not at the town yet. Hold on a sec. Andy, we almost there.
A little ways out. Oh, and we need to make one quick stop, too.
Thanks, bud. So, where'd we get cut off?
You were telling me about the church. The landmine? The accident.
Right, yeah. Well, of course, a civilian casualty like that, particularly, at a church, I guess it kind of refocused our attention here.
Had IDAP been particularly active in the area?
Yeah. I mean, our project had a handful of camps spread across the country. But yeah, I was in the town itself for a few months. It's all different now, though.
How so?
Well, for one thing, IDAP used to be based right in the heart of Oriel Castro. Of course, this was all pre-war. I remember, at that time, the local military maintained a checkpoint on the outskirts of town. That was understandable. I mean, the whole area was a kind of Wild West. Big mashup of civilian and guerrilla infrastructure. Disaster waiting to happen, really. I don't know. It's strange to see our camp based there now.
Hey, sorry about the holdup. We're on the way now.
All right, thanks, Andy.
So, what's your role there today?
Now, in general, the provision of aid. There was a lot of damage. That fills the gap. Drinking water, basic medicine, post-war cleanup, in other words.
And on the ground, how does that translate to your work?
It's a mixed bag, like today. Part demining, part unexploded ordnance disposal.
I see.
Heads up, Mac. Almost there.
Got it. Sorry about that. We're arriving now. Give me a sec.
All right, Mac. Got your stuff all laid out here.
Hold on just a sec, Kate. I need to get set up.
Take your time.
All right, then. You got everything? Detector working? You remember how to switch it on, right?
Hey, sorry, I forgot to mention, the demining toolkit, totally forgot to pack it up this morning.
That's no big deal. We're just locating the mines for now. Just keep me posted.
Are you free to talk, Nathan?
Sure. For now, I'm just sweeping the road for mines, getting a lay of the land, you know. The detector lets us see what we're dealing with here. I can work and chat.
Question. What happens when you do find a landmine?
Ordinarily, we disarm it, but today, small oversight, we haven't got all our gear right now.
Oh, it's on the way, I hope.
Yeah, it's all good.
All right, Mac. Got your stuff all laid out here.
Hold on just a sec, Kate. I need to get set up.
Take your time.
All right, then. You got everything? Detector working? You remember how to switch it on, right?
Yeah, I got it, Andy.
Then you're all set.
Thanks. So for now, I'll just make a note of where the mines are.
Yeah. Take it slow, Mac. We'll let the Bobcat do the heavy lifting later.
Hey, sorry, I forgot to mention. Demining toolkit, totally forgot to pack it this morning.
That's no big deal. We're just locating the mines for now. Just keep me posted.
Are you free to talk, Nathan?
Sure. Now I'm just sweeping the road for mines, getting a lay of the land, you know. The detector lets us see what we're dealing with here. I can work and chat.
Question. What happens when you do find a landmine?
Ordinarily, we disarm it, but today, small oversight, we have got all our gear right now.
Oh, it's on the way, I hope.
Yeah, it's all good.
So, since the war's now over, has your own role changed at all?
Yeah, I guess so. Now I'm almost entirely focused on EOD and UXO.
And that's something you did in the military too?
Yeah, that's the thing about mines. War or not, win, lose, they don't go away.
How many minefields are you facing on Altis?
That we know of, 22. 23 including whatever's here. Plus, you got Stratus, another 4 over there, I think.
I see. And can you estimate, roughly, how long it would take to remove them all?
A lot of variables, but cleanup operation of this size, if it's only IDAP, we're talking years.
Do you ever get nervous?
Yeah, but not when I'm working. It hits you after. Or before. Andy, I'm at the barricade.
Cool. And the road?
Yeah, that's what we thought. Dozen or so APs, nothing the old Bobcat can't handle.
How well do you remember the town?
You mean before it was destroyed? Vividly. Huh. I got a blocked door here.
Yep. NATO still hasn't gotten its acid gear. I can make some calls, but,
I'll come back later. The people here, they didn't have much love for their army.
Why do you think that is?
History, I guess. This place never supported the military takeover, the Kavala coup and all that. Plus, stationing troops in the town, nobody believed the government spin about training. They were seen as an occupying force there to keep a lid on things. I got a UXO here dug right into the wall.
shit. You'll need the toolkit for that job. I'll get on the horn to dispatch, see what's taking them so long.
I'll come back later.
How does IDAP distribute aid? It's a big logistical operation.
Oh, yeah. As the name suggests, we're an international organization. You wouldn't believe the paperwork. Supplies come in from all over Europe, end up at our depot in the Netherlands.
And they're shipped out from there?
Mm-hmm. Worldwide. Ground convoys make up the last leg of the journey. Though sometimes we rely on helilifts and airdrops. Huh. Where our camp used to be.
Anything left?
Not much. Few memories, maybe. Just some old boxes here and there.
IDAPs.
Yeah. It was NATO that helped bring him in. Actually, it was one hell of a supply drop.
So, the supply drop, this was when exactly?
Right around the time we saw the ceasefire starting to break down. Must be more than a year ago now.
So, at that time, your camp was in the center of town.
Yeah, things were getting pretty desperate, though. I remember we hadn't been resupplied in months. No food, water, medicine. We were used to issues with logistics, but I don't know, in the end it got so bad U.S. forces prepared an airdrop. Not an easy task considering, but those crates, they really were life and death. That's why we needed somebody on the ground. Someone to make sure they came down okay.
And who was that?
A guy named Adams, part of the NATO peacekeeping force. Close friend of mine, actually. It was his job to locate a drop zone.
In the mountains.
Mm-hmm. Needless to say, High Command always had ideas, but they weren't always good. Plus, no one had planned those crosswinds flaring up. But our supplies were already in the air.
He made a spur-of-the-moment decision.
Pretty much, yeah. Although he described it with more, direct language.
Adams, he went out to look.
From the way he told it, he may as well have. No, even along with some new recruits, local bunch. It was his job to show them the ropes.
Something I'm not quite clear on. Why didn't IDAT transport the aid themselves? There must have been a reason.
Yeah, there was. A couple of weeks previously, guerrillas ambushed a convoy. It was some dissident group out to sabotage the peace talks in Arma. Anyway, NATO intervened and the whole thing just blew up. A checkpoint was hit. Protesters were fired upon at the MOD.
Yes, we were there. AAN.
And you know how bad it got.
Our movements were limited by the government.
Exactly. And convincing anybody to reassign troops, escort NGOs, just a total non-starter. One of the drop zones available to Adams was out on the coast. Once he called in the airdrop, that was it. They just had to sit tight, hope for the best.
One thing I don't understand, what were they doing there, all the way up in the mountains?
The town, Oreo Castro, this place has historic ties with the guerrillas. For years, people here would provide them with food, water.
I see.
The government responded by draining the swamp.
And that involved sending soldiers?
Yeah, coin-ops. Adams and his guys were here to remind them of their R2P.
Just a sec, I'm getting a bit lost in the lingo here.
Oh, gotcha. R2P is their responsibility to protect. Counterinsurgency can get real messy real quick. He was in charge of training, laws of armed conflict, that kind of thing. Adams normally tossed out an orange smoke grenade, which marked his position for pilot.
So, these crates, were there a lot of them, or...?
No, just 4. One contained medicine, another fresh drinking water. The rest were packed with rice or grain. Adams had to inspect each one individually. Later, we'd arrange collection.
Parachute, 200 meters back.
Thankfully, the rye seemed okay. It wasn't uncommon for the sacks of grain to split on impact, but that time, we got lucky. He didn't lose a single one. The medical items, they'd been trashed. Vials were broken. Just a total mess. It was a disaster. Adams didn't know it, but one of our doctors, he lost a patient because of that. Unfortunately, the crate containing water came down heavy. Most of the bottles inside had split open. As for the crates, they still needed to be checked before anyone else arrived.
Disembark.
Understood. Standing by. Waiting. Waiting.
Now, the thing with airdrops, they're not exactly subtle. Smoke, noise of the plane, those bright green parachutes, gonna get you noticed. And when you're in the middle of band country, that's a problem.
Cover me! Reloading!
Man down.
Leventis! Driver, get in that vehicle!
Solid copy. Standing by.
I'm covering, go! Okay, let's go! On the move!
Clear.
Leventis, disembark!
Solid copy.
Leventis, driver, get in that vehicle.
Standing by. Ready.
Left! Right, backward. Stop! Backward, stop, stop! Petros, gunner, get in that vehicle.
Solid copy. Standing by.
Move to Point Alpha.
Solid copy. Wait.
Move 75 meters. Front.
On the way. Ready.
Move to Point Alpha.
Copy that. Standing by.
Dismount.
Solid copy. Waiting. Waiting.
Return to formation.
We'll go. Parachute. 200 meters right.
Thankfully, the rice seemed okay. It wasn't uncommon for the sacks of grain to split on impact, but that time, we got lucky. He didn't lose a single one.
Disembark.
Copy. Wait. Ready. Ready.
Medical items, they'd been trashed. Vials were broken. Just a total mess. It was a disaster. Adams didn't know it, but one of our doctors, he lost a patient because of that. Unfortunately, the crate containing water came down heavy. Most of the bottles inside split open. As for the crates, they still needed to be checked before anyone else arrived.
Enemy spotted. Technical. 400 meters bearing 225.
Now, the thing with airdrops, they're not exactly subtle. Smoke, noise of the plane, those bright green parachutes, are gonna get you noticed. And when you're in the middle of band country, that's a problem.
Enemy spotted. Parachute. 200 meters back. Disembark.
Solid copy. Ready. Waiting. Waiting.
Thankfully, the rice seemed okay. It wasn't uncommon for the sacks of grain to split on impact, but that time, we got lucky. He didn't lose a single one. Medical items, they'd been trashed. Vials were broken. Just a total mess. It was a disaster. Adams didn't know it, but one of our doctors, he lost a patient because of that. Unfortunately, the crate containing water came down heavy. Most of the bottles inside had split open. As for the crates, they still needed to be checked before anyone else arrived.
Move 75 meters. Front.
On the way.
Move right.
Copy that.
Move up.
Understood. Waiting.
Car! 200
Now, the
meters.
thing with
right.
airdrops, not exactly subtle. Smoke, noise of the plane, those bright green parachutes, they're gonna get you noticed. And when you're in the middle of band country, that's a problem.
Engage that technical. Front.
Machine gunner, 100 meters, just up ahead.
Return formation.
Copy that.
Petros. Sit rep.
Technical, 100 meters, front. Hit. Go on cover. Okay, let's go.
Throw in smoke.
Moving. Area clear.
Unknown contact. Half a click bearing 210. Contact! Contact! Sniper! We got a man down!
The guerrillas attacked.
Yeah, from what I heard, it was pretty intense. I don't have the numbers, but maybe 6 or 7 were killed.
And what happened when the supplies had been secured?
Adams would fire a flare. Back at the camp, of course, we'd heard all the gunfire, but that flare, when we spotted it, I don't know, felt like finding a moment of hope or something.
Sure. I can only imagine. And thanks for sharing. It puts a human perspective on my work. Speaking of which, your friend, do you think he'd be willing to contribute further? Even, off the record, what with the topic of my article, having an expert, an instructor on the laws of war.
Look, I'm sorry. I know he'd help out however he could, but listen, he died on Stratus. A year and a bit later. Lend mine.